Good to see you again. Welcome back. A little showbiz quiz now.
Yeah, now, which actress suffered 5 series of frozen
toes?
Clue. Chased murderers across the Yorkshire moors and then became a double agent who walked away from her own funeral. Think about it. Now,
the answer's in front of you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oi, where are you going?
Lou, and then my rehearsal.
Well, you can't.
Well, I've got to.
Rachel, what about me? I never go out to have any fun.
Stay with Joe. Fun's a middle name.
That's why I tend to use Joe.
Bye.
Bye.
Should we get another bottle?
Oh, at least.
Sorry, what are we celebrating? What did the hospital want?
There's something wrong with the X-ray machine.
That's not what they said. Sorry, I'm nosy. Part of my job description.
What did they say exactly?
That I should ask you.
They think it's a brain tumour. An intracranial meningioma. But if I can pronounce it, there can't be that much wrong with me.
Got her here now in the flesh. She survived that actress, Hermione Norris. When you look at all those people, Hermione, all those guys, are they all different people to you, even though it's you?
It's really strange watching that.
So who is that? And
I have no idea.
You have to make them all different.
I have to make them all different.
Well, acting is nothing if not varied, and it's been a pretty varied career. We were talking about luck just before during the commercial break. And I suppose if there ever was an element of luck in your career, it must have been cold feet.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That was sort of a one-off, once in a lifetime, once in a career piece of drama, really. When none of us knew that it was going to become so huge. I just knew, you know, we all knew that when we had that script at pilot stage that it was something very special. But then it just sort of, you know, and in hindsight I realise it more, actually, because when you're in something, you're blinded by it, really. You're just sort of doing your job, and you're in, but now, you know, at the end of every interview I do, people say, cold feet, will there ever be, you know, and in the street, we loved Cold Feet, you know.
Well, we're all desperate for it to come back, but you've all said, are you kind of glad it finished when it did, that you went out on a high? And
yeah, I mean, we did it
like
for 7 years, and it was a huge privilege to be a part of. And it was time, you know, sort of how many times can, you know, storylines and, no,
but as actors, you've all done so well as a result of that platform, I suppose. You are now one of those bankable faces on television. You see you on a programme, people say, oh, yeah, we'll watch that. That must be very good. And it's all led now to a new reincarnation for you, which is in Kingdom. And it's a bit different, this, isn't it?
Beatrice, well, the last series we saw Beatrice, she was the kind of man-eater, slightly wild, kind of devil-may-care. But we're seeing a whole new her in this series, because she's now pregnant.
She's going to have a baby.
Does she know whose it is? We don't know, do we?
She knows who the father is, probably barely remembers who the father is, but nobody else does. And she won't tell anybody, because she, you know, she knows it probably would cause upset to Peter.
No, it's on this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday at 9 o'clock, ITV1. But as there's no father that she's telling about, she's asking her slightly wayward brother, Simon, to be the birthing partner. It's certainly a way to make most men run to the hills, so let's see his reaction.
Cottage hospitals have a blind spot when it comes to decor.
So, what's involved?
Mainly holding my hand, telling me to breathe, getting me ice chips. All women during labour have to have ice chips, so I'm led to believe. Cutting the cord if you want to. You squeamish with the tripea side of things?
Oh, I cleaned a fish once.
Well, I suppose you could always go to the butcher's, ask if you could practice. Just don't go fainting, OK? Stealing all my thunder.
Simon, you don't know what it'll take out of you. And of course you've had to go through it in real life as well.
I know. Hero was 5 weeks old when we shot that scene.
Yeah. This is your new baby daughter.
Yes. So I literally didn't know. I mean, I got to the stage last year because I was pregnant filming 2 series, Spooks and Kingdom. I literally couldn't remember. You know, I literally used to walk down the street and think, oh, no, I haven't got a bump.
Yeah, so was it in Spooks you were pregnant but they didn't want you to be pregnant, so you had to hide it?
Yeah.
And then first in Kingdom, they didn't mind you
Early
being
days pregnant, but I was out there by then.
So
and then I went away, had Hero, then I wasn't pregnant, and in that, I just had her, and so I had a prosthetic tummy.
Do you know,
Well, I'm loving this name
anything
Hero,
worse.
actually. This is
Yeah,
your
thank
daughter
you.
called
Yes,
Hero, and with your Hermione, I can hardly say that,
Hermione.
and I should, because there's a bit of a Greek theme going on here,
Yes,
isn't there? Because
yes.
I remember that from my Greek O level.
Yeah.
What's the who's tell me about Hero and Hermione?
Well, Hermione was the daughter of Helen Helen of Troy in the Greek myth. Slightly embarrassing.
No, it's not. It's very interesting.
And Hero, actually, it was when I was at drama school, and we used to rehearse in this amazing building in Chelsea, and there was a lady there who was literally about 80, and she had silver white hair down to her waist, and she used to shuffle around, and she was looked after this building, and her name was Hero. And I just thought that was so cool.
Gosh.
But it's also, you know, it's a Shakespearean name, and it's Christopher Marlowe.
And what about your little boy, Wilf?
Wilf.
Is there a story behind his name that's
that
so
was
glamorous?
Simon was sort of thought of Wilfred Owen, Wilfred. We just loved the name Wilf.
Oh, I thought it might have been Wilf McGuinness at Man United, but no,
And
not to be.
how's he taken, because he's 3, isn't he?
He's 3.
So he's had all this lovely attention
Yeah.
from Mum and Dad. How's he taken to baby
We had
sister?
moments of, please will you put her back in your tummy? But he's all right. He loves her. Absolutely loves her.
How are you finding the schedule? Because you're so in demand, and then comes along the family, and you don't live in London or Manchester or any of the big cities like
I
that.
live in London.
Oh, do you live in London? There's me thinking you lived in the wilds of Cornwall or something.
No. I've got a little cottage in Dorset.
Ah, right.
Is Kingdom all filmed in Cornwall? Or
Kingdom is filmed in Norfolk.
Norfolk? And so do you take Hero, or both children, with you when you're
Yeah, they
filming?
come. If ever we go away, the entourage come.
Now, how are you finding that? Because at the end of the day, you've got to be a working mum like anybody else has to be a
Well,
working
you know
mum.
what? It's literally just pulled every which way, aren't you? Women, you know, you just do it all, and it's hard, and things fall through the net sometimes, and you can't, you know, there's no such thing as having it all, really. Something, you know, it's a constant sort of struggle to keep the equilibrium, but it's like, that's just what every woman does really now, don't they?
But every woman does that, but they don't necessarily have to learn their lines while they're changing nappies or loading up the dishwasher, whatever they have to do. Are you good at learning lines?
You become like, I think you're exercising your brain like that, yes you do, and on Spooks the scripts are so late that you know, we get scenes before, I mean poor Gemma Jones last year was sort of learning Russian the night before, you know, speech in Russian.
Gosh.
So you sort of just sponge it up, but Kingdom is much more, you know, we know what we're going to do.
And just a couple of things about Spooks before we go. First of all, my mother will be watching this morning saying, why is it called Spooks? Because they're like ghosts, aren't they? Don't they disappear? You're not supposed to see them. It's not,
so, yeah.
It's not what it is. I think. I may have
Maybe
got
it's a
that
bit
wrong.
spooky. I don't know.
but-
Spook, spy.
No, I think they're supposed to be invisible. There's no trace of them. And
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well,
You know more than me.
spy things. And the second thing is, does an organisation like that exist?
Does it exist?
Yes.
MI5, yes it does.
They are
But I think
MI5.
we obviously take huge
Liberties.
and cause them a great deal of laughter every week, I'm sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to Beatrice, because the thing that made me smile is that she joins the Women's Institute, which
Yes,
I cannot
she does.
imagine, I have to
Yes,
say.
yes.
So we'll look forward to that this
And
Sunday.
Stephen Fry,
9
of course,
o'clock.
in that.
It is,
Stephen
yeah.
Fry and all
Finally,
that.
Celia Imrie.
Oh, what a
She's
lineup.
great,
What
I
a
love
lineup.
her.
Thank you very much, Lee. The lineup
Lovely to see you,
on
thank
this
you.
morning on Monday.